Sydney radio host Bob Rogers has died at the age of 97. He began his career in Melbourne back in 1942 as a panel operator for 3XY, now known as Magic Radio. Bob Rogers went on to work at 4BH in Brisbane before moving to 2UE and 2SM in Sydney. He retired in 2018 as radio's longest-serving DJ after a career spanning 78 years. And joining us live now on the phone is Bob Rogers' friend and family spokesperson, Derryn Hinch. Derryn, good to have you with us this morning. Let's just start with your thoughts on Bob's passing.
Well, Peter, very sad, but he was getting pretty sick and very hard to move around. I should say, "Heidi Hody everybody." I mean, that was his catch cry for many years. We were friends for more than 50 years. I used to listen to him when I was a kid on my Crystal set across the ditch in New Zealand. And because he was actually Australia's first DJ. He started the top 40 on 2UE. Then he became one of the good guys at 2SM. He gave me, when I got into radio, he gave me the best advice I ever had. And that was, never learn how to work the equipment or you'll have to work weekends. And I never did, Peter, and I never did.
Derryn, look, he was working into his 90s and still rating well, so still pulling in a decent crowd. How does someone stay on air for so long?
I do not know. I mean, I did it for quite a few years, but, his is extraordinary. Nearly 80 years behind the microphone, and he had such an amazing voice, and it was a very familiar voice for people, and his audiences adored him, you know. They really did. They really did. There'll be a private family funeral, but I'm sure in Sydney, one of the radio stations will be organising, I think they already are, organising a memorial service in Sydney in a couple of months' time.
I've got to say, Derryn, I found it fascinating. I was listening to 2GB in the early hours of this morning when I was coming into work, and they played an interview that he did with the Beatles back in the 60s when he was travelling the world with the Beatles. They liked him. They liked having him with them to the point where many regarded him as the fifth Beatle.
The fifth Beatle, that's true. Look, apparently 2UE sent him over there 3 weeks before they started their tour, so he almost became part of the family, and he really got to know them incredibly well, and he toured Australia with them everywhere, every minute of the day. So, yeah, it was an incredible time. Look, he had an amazing talent. I know people these days throw the words legend and idol around too easily, in my opinion, but he truly was both of those things.
Okay. Derryn Hinch, good to have you with us. I'm sorry it's on such a sad day, but thanks for sharing your thoughts. We'll chat to you again soon.
Thank you.
Derryn Hinch
Bye-bye.
there talking to us on the phone.